If this life is one act, why do we lay all these traps? We put them right in our path when we just wanna be free. I will not waste my days making up all kinds of ways to worry about all the things that will not happen to me. So I just let go of what I know I don't know, and I know I only do this by living in the moment, living my life easy and breezy, with peace in my mind, with peace in my heart, with peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home, living in the moment. I'm letting myself off the hook for things I've done. I let my past go past, and now I'm having more fun. I'm letting go of the thoughts that do not make me strong, and I believe this way can feel the same for everyone. And if I fall asleep, I know you'll be the one who'll always remind me to live in the moment, living my life easy and breezy, with peace in my mind, with peace in my heart, peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. I can walk through life facing backwards. I have tried more than once to just make sure, and I was denied the future I'd been searching for. I spun around and hurt no more by living in the moment, living my life easy and breezy, with peace in my mind, with peace in my heart, with peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. I'm living in the moment, I'm living my life, just taking it easy, with peace in my mind, got peace in my heart, got peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. I'm living in the moment, I'm living my life easy and breezy, peace in my mind, peace in my heart, peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home, living in the moment.
Well, good Monday morning, Sonder family. Welcome. It is a new week, the first full week of June, and we are glad to welcome you to this week's weekly Setup Social. We're so glad you're here. My name is Jennifer Ogilvy. I'm coming to you from the Dallas, Texas area in a suburb called Garland. And we made the national news last week for weather, and I'll be sharing a little bit about that in my Rosebud Thorn reflection. Joining me, my co-pilot this morning is the fabulous Katie Gideon. Katie had a couple of setups herself this weekend, and she's going to be hanging out in that chat. She popped on and gave you a wave. If you have any questions, feel free to drop those in the chat, and she'll do her best to point you in the right direction. She's kind of getting back in the groove of things. She's been on vacation. She got to go to Ireland, and she is coming to us from Scotland. So you have the international group this morning, the former Team Texas But we're really happy that you're here. So I know we've got some educators who are on summer break joining us for, what they're usually are not being able to do on a Monday morning. They're here with us, and we may have some brand new folks here for the first time. If you are here at a social for the first time, drop a me in that chat so we can give you a welcome, a reminder. This is microphones off, video streams are off. You're just here with your accountability buddies ready to set up for the week. So I see Amanda just dropped that she's new here. Welcome, Amanda. A reminder, be sure to set your chat to where it says to everyone. Because if it's to host and panelists, that's great. Katie and I will see that message, but everybody else won't see that message. And we do a lot of sharing in the chat. Folks will share what has worked in their journals, what they've tried and maybe loved or tried and it didn't work, so they did something else. So there's just a lot of sharing that goes on. So again, make sure that chat is set to everyone so that we can share. And Candace, you're not late. I'm chatty. We just got going. We're glad you're here. Just a shout out to those stickers. I've got some sticker usage that I'm going to share this morning. I'm normally just pen and paper person, but I am actually using that sticker set that's there in the lower right, and it's just fun. It's a fun. It's not the matchy set that I have going on today. But I'm loving it. It makes the setup so much easier. So friends, when we're together, we do follow these community guidelines, whether we're in Sonder Club and we're posting or we're gathered together here, we do create safe spaces for one another. We we like to just share these every week and give you that reminder to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, but that you're also taking care of each other through these community guidelines. And then we've got this new theme, and I've already seen lots of posting in Sonder Club about folks are really loving this new theme. Trust was a tricky one. It was hard. I know I found myself doing a lot of work. I put that trust letter off. I didn't want to didn't want to really tackle it for a while. So Thrive it just feels like it's a little bit lighter, and we're going to be able to sort of take some of that heaviness from our work with our theme of trust and jump ahead into this new theme where we all thrive. Our agenda today, you are going to be invited to work on our new mind map, which is a bonus prompt that you get when you come to these weekly setup socials. So I'll talk a little bit more about the mind map. We're going to do our rosebud thorn reflection from last week. And and then we're going to do our weekly setup pages. And I just saw, Bobby Sue said, honestly, I am glad to say goodbye to trust. Yeah, it's a heavy theme. And I'll tell you, May was just kind of a heavy month personally for me. I was kind of ready for it to go away. And I'm usually loving May every year. Both of my kids were born in May. And so it's a very special month. But I'm kind of glad to be the dumbest month ever. Yeah, I'm glad to be jumping ahead into June. So let's talk about this mind map. If you're brand new here, this again is a bonus prompt. And what we do with that mind map is we take our theme of the month, and then each week we're going to dig into that theme through a different lens. So it just helps us sort of grasp that new theme, what it looks like in our life, and we'll just do a prompt every single week. This can be done on a notes page. This can be done on the definition page, on maybe you're going to do it week by week and use that weekly scratch pad. So you find the space that works for you. Maybe you have, I always say a sidekick journal. Maybe that goes in there. And yes, Bobby Sue said, I love doing this on the very last page. And I will tell you, our One of our other facilitators, Bailey, does hers consistently on that last page because she says it's so easy to find when it's on that last page. So again, a bonus prompt that you get for coming to these weekly setups. So we're going to be looking at our Thrive mind map. And of course, think of the word thrive. What does that mean to you? You might want to go fill that definition out on the front part of your journal. Thinking about growing, about moving forward. What does thrive mean for you? And we're going to be looking at lots of different areas in our life that we can embrace that idea of thrive. Um, so you can take this in many directions. You can sort of just do it as a whole, but you could also say maybe, this week or this month, I'm going to work on looking at thrive through the lens of my career and just really hone in that way when you look at these prompts each week. Or perhaps it's I'm going to focus on my family and how what thrive looks like it for that. Or maybe it's going to be a very introspective look at your personal life. So you can kind of land in a place that you feel like you want to really embrace thrive in your life. So we're going to be looking at it in 4 different ways over the next 4 weeks. And our week one is our well being. And Katie and I were laughing because well being could actually probably get us through the whole month, right? Just that one alone. Now, I've blown it up so that we could see it a little bit better. So, when you think of well being, that's going to be your physical and mental health, taking care of your body by things like healthy eating, exercise, enough sleep. But also, well-being can be about managing stress, nurturing your those good, happy emotions, having a sense of purpose. I'll give you a quick hint. I actually took my response this week through the idea of eating, exercise, and enough sleep because those are 3 areas that I really try to work on with mine. So I found a couple of great graphics. First, a good reminder, the things we tend to thrive. So what do you need to tend to when you consider well-being? And then there's this great graphic with some wonderful suggestions about thriving every day, maybe adding a couple of things to your life. And I'll go back and forth between these while you're working on it. And here's my page, and I said I went straight to that prompt, eating, exercise, and sleeping, but I'm going to propose to you consider maybe one small change as you think about your well-being. One small change that you can really embrace and lean into for this week's reflection. Is it an earlier bedtime? I've heard that for grown-ups, sleeping in, the best way to sleep in is actually to go to bed earlier because we have a limit. We got to get up and get going, right? So maybe you set an earlier bedtime. Maybe there's a small routine adjustment to give future you a gift, like putting your kitchen to bed at night so you walk in and it's a clean kitchen, or your coffee pot is set up. How does that set your day and your well-being? Maybe add something in there like take the stairs. What about those 7 types of rest that we talk about? Is there an area that you're lacking in that you could really embrace, for that overall well-being? Is there an appointment you've been putting off that you need to? Do you need to go get your eyes checked? Do you need to go to the gynecologist? What could you do to take that one step towards your well-being? Maybe always eat the veggies first instead of the other things on your plate. Fill your water cup in the morning. Again, these are all just suggestions. What do you need more of, or what do you need less of? And I love this graphic. We all need different things to thrive. So it's going to be a different answer for us all. So I'm going to stop talking and put on some music, and I'll go back and forth between these slides. Let us know where you like to set up your mind map. how you do that. And, Bobby Sue, give us just a second, and Katie will drop you a link so you can find out the 7 types of rest. Those are 7 different categories: sensory, emotional rest, physical rest, and you can take a little quiz to find out, like, what kind of rest you need the most and really lean into that. Again, I'll stop talking. I'll go back and forth between these slides. Let us know the things that are coming up for you as you consider well being in relationship to thriving. All right. Thank you for considering our first week of the mind map about our overall well-being. And again, this is a really big topic for 1 week's consideration. But I did want to shout out, Alyssa dropped in the chat. I don't know if you were writing and were able to see it, but she said the 5 most important things she read about for our overall well-being. The first one being diet with water, and then sleep, followed by exercise, medications, and then connections to others. And I like that idea of, thinking about those things and almost doing it in order. Like, start with the first one, your nutrition and your hydration. And when you got that in check, then okay, let's address the sleep and just slowly kind of work through those different topics to kind of become the best version that we can, anyhow, I really love that we are thinking about what we each need to thrive in the life we've been given, and we're all different, and so that reminder that we all are going to need those different things. So thank you for starting on this. This may be something that you add to as you go along. This could also be, I love the idea of thinking about our overall well-being for week 1, because we can take some of those ideas and incorporate it in this week's setup with our habits and our activities and our goals and the things that we want for the week, right? So we can just take it on through. It's a very big picture consideration. So now we're going to turn to page 30, which was the end of last week, to take a look at our rosebud thorn reflection. This is an opportunity for us to kind of look back over the week, show our gratitude for the things that went well in our life through those roses and even those buds, but also to just call those thorns, those really hard, tricky moments, call them out, put them on paper, maybe even be able to leave them there. So of course the roses are going to be those things that are bringing you joy in your life, those accomplishments, the things that you're proud of. I know for our educators that are here this morning, it might just be the rose is that you are here this morning and you're officially on summer vacation. The buds are going to be the emerging opportunities. What's coming down the pipe your way for, things to look forward to, opportunities that are coming up and embracing themselves. And then the thorns are the really tricky things of life. And I'll share mine. I'm in Garland, Texas. We made the national news last week. We had a terrible storm come through last Tuesday. It wrecked our community. We still have, there are almost 2,000 people still without power, but the majority of the city lost power. We were down for about 2 days. And fortunately our trees were okay. We have a very old tree, but in my neighborhood walking around, half the trees just split, just fell apart, and because of drought and all of that mess. So it has been, there's that fatigue that you feel for other people as well. Like I got my power back and then I felt a little guilty because there were still people who didn't have power. It was a rough week. So, my feeling word this week is getting back on track. My emerging opportunity is just that it's summer and I'm gonna have more opportunities for just some pop in grandkid time. I've got some summer visitors coming our way. Very much looking forward to that. And then my rose is just my garden. We're eating tomatoes and cucumbers, the ones that didn't snap. So that always brings me a lot of joy. But yes, thank you guys for those good thoughts. It was scary. It was very scary. We were woken up at 6:05 with the sirens and alarms, and I peeked out the window, and I'm from the Houston area and have ridden through many hurricanes, and I saw what looked like hurricanes, and we had up to 80-mile-per-hour wind shears that came, straight line winds that came through. It was crazy. I woke my husband up, said, "Get in the bathroom," in our safe room. Very, very scary. So I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I have y'all. I laughed. I told Katie, this, I needed to share with my Sonder family just to have that moment of letting it go. So thank y'all. Let's work on this rosebud thorn reflection. Share in the chat what you're looking forward to, what life is bringing you, so that we can all celebrate those things together as well as carry each other's thorns. I'll be back to check in with you in just a few moments. I know that many of you are still writing, but if you were able to share, thank you for sharing in the chat. And you know what? I'm excited for you, Gloria. No thorns this week. That's okay to, that's the best space in the whole journal to leave blank. So good for you. Glad things are going well for you. And I hope that you can continue to leave that space blank. I'm excited about your buds and your roses. So thank you for taking time to share that. And let's move forward into our weekly setup. So we are going to be working on pages 32 and 33 this week. I am all set up. Here's what my pages are going to look like. Um, for my major goals, they're actually like tasks that have some steps involved with them. So they're not real, you know, these big fancy goals, but there are three things that I really want to tackle. I'll show you my habit and activity tracker. I always put to go back and check some of the other pages in my journal in this area. So you'll see I've got my monthly habit tracker, my daily gratitude. I'm doing in that jar, I'm doing 1 word a day for that gratitude. I don't use the expense page. I actually use for a daily financial affirmation to remind myself that I'm okay financially. That's something that I work on personally. And then I've got a couple other things on my habit tracker. My shopping list is being repurposed as my routine checklist for those things I want to make sure that I have hit. I put my daily affirmation where our meal plan is because I actually track my nutrition on my phone. And then in the Mind Body Health Plan, I'm using that just to write down. I'm aiming for a 12 varieties of fruits and vegetables this week, and writing it down is holding me accountable to making sure I'm not just eating the same old lettuce salad as my veggie, right? I'm really trying to embrace that. So that's kind of what my setup looks like. I leave my to-do box. I changed that to ta-da, which we will be looking at in just a moment. So we've got lots of fun things this week. If you are here for the first time and you see something, well, this is actually for everybody. One of the tips we give is take a screenshot of something that may be speaking to you that you might want to consider trying so that you don't miss it. And that this is a great screenshot to take if you are wanting to maybe embrace kind of a fun thing each day, or perhaps making Monday be a magical Monday and Tuesday be a try it Tuesday. Just some ideas of ways to incorporate some fun in your day to day. And we're going to begin with, what do you want to feel when you're sitting here next week, looking back at your week? What feeling do you want to say, yeah, I embraced this and I want to get that feeling for the week? So think about that. What does your week bring you? I said for this week, I want to feel back on track. I also want to feel gratitude. I'm very fortunate after last week. I have the opportunity of filling my refrigerator with all fresh items now. So I really want to find gratitude in the hard stuff from last week. You can use one word, you can use a mantra, a quote, maybe there's a sticker, a picture. Feel free to drop what you're thinking in the chat. Let us see your words, your feelings for the week. Perhaps you come up with a theme for the week. Maybe you want to thrive. You want to just let this whole month be thrive. And you don't have to come up with a new word every single week. You can bring a word forward. If it's working for you, keep that. Maybe you're using your word of the year. Dinah just dropped in the chat this week for her, it is focused and accomplished. What's coming to mind for you? Colleen says she wants to feel forward motion, that momentum. I love that. And she wants to thrive in her eating habits. I love that being specific, Colleen. When you can be specific, you're more likely to meet that challenge. Oh yes, Sanji's ready for anything. Victoria's looking for a little peace this week. So consider that as we now look at the goals we have for ourselves and our weekly to-dos. And we're going to tackle both of those sections at the same time. So you might want to set these things through that lens of thriving. Think about your well-being. Is there a way to put that in place this week? What were your intentions? Maybe don't forget to go back and look at those pages of the habits and the intentions that you set up for your monthly pages. And then are there things that are still hanging out in May that really need to happen? Perhaps that goes here this week. Now, you don't have to set goals. You can just put three different kinds of things here, like quotes or podcast, or how you want to embrace the season. Maybe a mini bingo goes here. Perhaps you do what this person did and put their daily routines in this goal section. So it's really what works for you. You know, Gabby's dropping in. It's going to be a crazy week. So she has a goal, and it is to weather the storm that the week is bringing her. Lots going on. So already embracing that. I have spoken over the last month or so about those no goals, the elimination of things that are not serving you. So perhaps that's what goes here, especially if you're looking at it through that lens of thriving for your well-being. What's not serving you? What do you need less of? Maybe you do a single personal challenge like you see here. And you have maybe that feeling word is driving those goals directly, kind of that challenge or theme for the week. Perhaps you set up categories. Lots of you, I know, like the three categories. So you'll do something like a mind, body, soul, or a delegate, delight, and you assign a goal to each one of those categories. This is a very good way to find grounding if you're not sure, what to set for your goals, is to land on categories and then plug those things in according to categories. Again, some more examples. You don't have to have three. You can have one. You can have four, as you see the one on the right. This is your journal. Do it your way. And then you can also now take the goals you set and have your to-dos directly come from those goals, as you see in these examples from our Sonder family. And then, maybe you divide your to-do list up into categories such as a need, want, hope to do. The Eisenhower matrix, we include this in our slides every week, but I'll also give you a hint, in our little sticker set, there's actually a sticker Eisenhower matrix that you can use in this section. This is a great way to take all those to-dos and plug them in according to how important and urgent they are, all the way down to the things that are not important and not urgent. And those usually end up in this box called delete. But I also want to invite you to consider maybe changing one of these categories up. Maybe you don't have a delete box, but you have a delay box or a decline box or even a donate box there. If you are a single person household, it's kind of hard to delegate, right? So nothing really goes away in your life. And so, make this little matrix work for you. And then again, calling out to that, what is not serving you? What needs to go away? Perhaps you make a not to do list in this space. And then I kind of thought this was clever with the letter R, and then all the to-dos have to do with that, as well as looking at um, you can see the example on the left, really embracing, I want to feel more relaxed, less fearful, set those goals using those words, and then made this little bingo board that has the relax boxes, the less fear boxes, and play boxes. So it's all tied in together, which I think is a great idea. So let's go ahead. Oh, and then the to-do list. I forgot to tell you. And so that's what I do. I'm leaving that to-do list blank. My to-dos go on my daily setup. And then all the extras that I do, I give myself credit for, go back, drop that in a ta-da box. And then there's also the idea of how do you want to be this week? And that again, looking back at what our mind map was and your well-being, perhaps this is the direction that you take this list this week. So I'm going to stop talking. I'll go back through these slides. If you saw something that you liked, grab a screenshot and then let us know how you set this up. Be back to check in with you in just a few moments. righty. Great working on your goals and your to-dos for the week. It's going to be a good one. Oh, Gabby, let's see. You wanted this page? Is that the right one? Trying to grab a screenshot. Let me know if you got it. So now we're going to drop down to the habits and activities for the week. Um, they Maya, our fun facilitator Maya, came up with a fun word, habities, our habits and activities for the week. So I'm going to remind you, go take a look at those intentions as well as that monthly habit tracker. Okay. Are there some things on there that could go in this section? Again, calling out the idea of releasing, letting something go. We tend to take on ideas and we forget to let things go. So here's some habits that could go in this space that we are eliminating, cutting from our life. There are lots of ways to set this up. And the reason we have two different trackers in our journal is that big habit wheel every week or month, the big tracker. Those habits are the things we want to kind of embrace mostly on a daily basis. And the habits and activities on the weekly pages can be set up to fit the week that you are having. So you can fill out every line here, but you don't have to. Maybe you just need to track two things here. And if you remember on my page, I actually have myself being pointed back to the trackers that are in my journal, that habit tracker and the gratitude page and my financial affirmation, so that I can see that in my weekly and be sure I go back and I'm paying attention to those habits. You can circle the days that you need certain things to happen. Like you can see a couple of examples here of folks who, want to be sure that they are doing their yoga on Monday and Thursday and circled those days as that reminder. Again, you can set goals or you can not have a certain number of goals set. Like you see the one in the upper left there. They're just going to track when things happen. I don't set a goal. I just check it off as it happened. And then, um, I've pointed this out at the last few socials that I've done, but I love this one at the top where you see a night walk with an audiobook. So I'm a big Atomic Habits fan, and that's the book by James Clear, Atomic Habits. And he says, if you want to start a new habit, pair it with something you're already doing. So, if you're going to brush your teeth in the morning, that's a non-negotiable, but you're forgetting to take your vitamins. Perhaps you do brush teeth and take vitamins. And that way, when you go do the thing that you always do, the brush teeth, it's going to pair it with your new thing, which then makes you have more, a more positive experience with incorporating that new habit. So I always like to shout out for that one. And then I've just got a lot of different habits and activity ideas here. So let's take just a moment and kind of work on our habities for the week. Let us know what you'll be tracking this week, or do you just put a sticker over this section and maybe just focus on your to-dos? Let us know how you use it. I'll be back to check in with you in just a moment. Katie pointed out a very important thing. She was on vacation and she said, I didn't track. I'm on vacation. So give yourself permission, to not worry about it. And I also know perhaps this section becomes your work life habits, and so Saturday and Sunday you take off and you don't track during the weekend. Again, it's about making this work for you. So give yourself permission to take what you need in a particular week. Thanks for dropping that in the chat, Katie. Yeah, I'm not going to be traveling and worrying about my to-dos for the week, those habits and activities. So we're going to now jump over to the second page of our weekly setup, and we'll start with our meal plan. And again, you're invited to use these pages exactly as they are printed in your journal. But I've got a lot of ways that you can repurpose some of these sections, and I'll share lots of ideas that our Silk and Sonder family has posted in that chat or in the Sonder Club chat, so that we can kind of gather these ideas. Now, there's a ton, everything on this page. Katie likes to refer to this as side B of the record album, right? It's sort of not the main feature for the week, but we still can utilize the spaces here. The side B, yes. So you can see here's how a couple of people have used it as a meal plan or a meal tracker, right? They've divided it up into the different meals. The first one says, the food before noon, the food between noon and 6, and the foods after 6. So tracking that way. Or maybe you're actually planning out everything that you eat. But you can also use this section as well as the other sections. All the things I'm showing you can be put in any of these. It's a very flexible page. So I may show you something for a repurpose of the meal plan, but you may say, I'm going to incorporate that into my shopping list. Or I'll show you something in the shopping list section and you're like, you know what, that fits better for me in my mind body health plan. So a lot of modifications can be made. Bobby Sue just said she puts her accomplishments for each day here. And I shared my pages. I'm just tracking my, when I go to Sonder Club and I get the daily affirmation. And I'll give you a hint. I quit hitting the button for the daily affirmations because I messed up a streak and it made me upset. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to hit the button anymore. I'm just going to write into my journal and move on. So there's a pro tip for you. If the streak thing bothers you, just don't do it. Just write it down and embrace that affirmation for what it is. Here's some great repurposing ideas. If you're a doodler or you need to get your art on, maybe those little spaces are great for small doodles. You can see there's things like a midday check-in, a chore list, a reflection, a to-do list, a victory inventory. This one, I said this one came from a therapist wants them to do this on a daily basis. And then it's a way to reflect kind of those roses, right? Those things that you're celebrating. Don't forget about those water droplets. They can be used to track what you're drinking. You can color code them, right? So you know how much caffeine maybe you're drinking, or, oh, I didn't realize 7 of my drinks are Diet Cokes. But also it's a great way to maybe do a rating scale on a scale of 1 to 8 for something. Maybe you're tracking something, or maybe it's your chore list and you put 8 little chores in your menu planner. And then as you do each chore, you can color in a water droplet so that you can repurpose those if you're not using them for hydration. I love the idea of a calmness. I feel calm. So just that little check-in. Yes, I am calm right now. That's something I'm working on. And you check that in. You color that water droplet in. So there's that idea. The mind body health plan. Whoops, I think I went in the wrong direction there. I don't know what's going on. Let's see. Whoopsie. Sorry guys. I'm not sure what's happening. I think okay, well, again, some more repurpose ideas there. I'm thinking maybe a slide bugged out on me. I want to look at that shopping list because this is a space that you can we love the grids there. I think it was Bobby Sue has a birthday, you're celebrating for somebody. I love the idea of a bingo here to celebrate, maybe that, uh, special week in your life. If you have an anniversary, a birthday for yourself, a birthday for someone you love. You can divide the shopping list up into 2 sections, and then loving the idea of tracking your affirmation and your daily ritual, like you see that upper middle one. So checking in with Sonder Club, making sure that you're doing those things that help your well-being, help you to thrive. The idea of a weekly quest. I love that idea. Look at that quest. Pick up 5 pieces of trash when you walk. Isn't that awesome? Make the world a better place. Your daily rituals, like you see there, little checklist. And I actually was having a little bit of trouble with my good morning and good night routines. And so I did a good morning routine in my goal space and then a good night routine in my shopping space until I sort of got back on track. And now I just use my shopping space, as you saw in my example, um, for my good night routine. And then there is the mind body health plan for someone. They're going to do these things kind of like a habit and activity tracker, the guided meditation, going to stretch every day, going to do 30 minutes outside and made little boxes to check. Perhaps this is your bills that are due this week. And I love the idea of creating a social check-in, and making sure you're reaching out to folks. And I actually took this idea personally this month and I put it in my monthly habit tracker wheel. And I'm writing the initials down for each day. Instead of a checklist, I'm writing the initials of the person that I reached out to. I'm sort of new in this community, so lots of my social check-ins I left back home in the Houston area, and so it's just helping me be mindful of making sure that I'm reaching out to those people that are in my life. I mentioned that birthday week bingo. A lot of folks put a bingo in these spaces in the mind body health. In our shopping list, someone is going to track their weekly spending. That could be directly from the financial intention that you set. So, again, referring you back to your intentions page. Is there something in that intentions page that can be put on the B side? So, just kind of think about that overall picture of what you set up. And then finally, what are you loving right now, this very day? Be sure that you fill that out. This could be an end of the week reflection. I'm going to stop talking and let you work on these pages, and I'll be back to check in with you in just a few moments. Thank you for sharing what you put on this second page. You may not quite be finished, but you've gotten a great start to setting yourself up for a fabulous week. We'd love to see what you do by sharing your pages, your setup in Sonder Club. That's the facilitators love to see your pages because then we can share it with our Silk and Sonder world. There are those QR codes that are pretty important. You can refer a friend to Silk and Sonder. You'll get $10. They'll get $10. If you upgrade to an annual subscription, you will save a substantial amount. You can buy all those fun stickers now. And you also get some exclusive little perks that go along with that. The survey link, you're going to also receive, you've got these QR codes, but you're going to receive a follow-up email for that. And the survey link is a great opportunity to let headquarters know what you'd like to see. We actually had some big changes in this journal starting last January, and it was because of feedback that Silk and Sonder family shared with headquarters. And these are printed, they're formatted quite a bit ahead of time. So it may take a while to see some changes, but those changes that came directly from y'all. As a reminder, this social, as well as all the other socials that happen, are recorded and dropped into our private YouTube channel. So you can access weekly, monthly setups. When we do the journal prompts, we have a coloring social this month. All of those socials can be accessed at the previous socials can be accessed at the YouTube channel, but also go check Eventbrite, get those links for the June socials. And remember that sometimes there's like some communication issues with the Eventbrite, getting the right Zoom link sent to you in a timely fashion. So they're working on that. I think the platform is hopefully one day going to be where you just go to Silk and Sonder and boom, you're on. So be patient with all those outside platforms that are used that enable us to come together. Trust me, headquarters would love for that to work beautifully and seamlessly as well. Katie and I want to thank you for joining us today, for getting this new week set up. We're going to just rock this first full week in June. I'm going to share my playlist for the month. If you're on Spotify, I'll be adding to Thrive. Just so glad. Tapping links not working. Jonna, you might want to make sure that you are updated on Zoom. That is also something else that we noticed was happening. So we're kind of trying to make sure all of those links work. What are you going to do, right? We're relying on others. So make sure that you're always using the most recent install of our support things, especially Zoom. Zoom will mess us up. We'll get ready to get on for y'all, and it'll be like, you need an update. Y'all, thank you for joining us again. Really glad that you were here with Katie and me. We're going to have a fabulous day. Make today the best day of your life, and I'll see you soon, Sonder family.